Welcome to another episode of What's Your Story, where we share stories, personal stories of healing, bringing awareness, connection, community to all of us, because we all have something to share. We all have some lessons that we've learned that we want to pass on. So today's guest is somebody that is a new friend of mine, and I'm going to be honoring her this year at our annual fundraiser event coming up. I'm sure you've seen all of my Instagram posts. For Love and Laughs is coming out Sunday at the Comedy Store. Whoever hasn't gotten your ticket yet, I really hope you can, because it's going to be a really fun show. We have an amazing lineup. And my next guest, Nicole Blaine, is the actual recipient of this year's Zero Negative Mindset Award. When we honor people that have taken very negative situations, diagnoses, traumatic experiences, and it has made them their healing do something positive for the world. So Nicole is the founder, CEO, and artistic director of The Crow, LA's top nonprofit theater and mission-driven comedy club. With a background in producing live comedy shows and comedy festivals in Los Angeles and New York for 20 plus years, stand-up specials on HBO, and her own stand-up comedy special, Life's a Bit, on Amazon Prime, the culmination of Blaine's work can be seen in her latest docuseries and live show creation, Storyectomy. Storyectomy is both a mental health initiative and a social justice story-making mentorship program that focuses on giving participants the power to use real, raw, and personal lived experiences to find healing, destigmatize society's shame, and open our eyes to accepting and emphasizing with all people. In the past 3 years, Blaine has produced 12 Storyectomy seasons with 99 storytellers covering themes of cancer, mental health, LGBTQ and family pride, and the unhoused crisis. Next year, with a veteran Storyectomy on the slate, Blaine hopes to continue to cultivate a community of survivors, thrivers, and caretakers who will find respite and relief in cathartic storytelling and help move society forward with true stories that can shape our world for the better. Okay, let us welcome Nicole Blaine. By the way, I was one of the 99 storytellers at the Cancer Storyectomy, which is how we met and why I have become so funny, because she taught me how to heal with comedy. Okay, there she is. Yay!
Sure. I didn't know how to do what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. I'm here. I'm totally
That's
here. Hi.
okay. I blamed it all on you.
Okay,
So
good. Please do. Please always do that.
you missed your amazing introduction, and it's a definite mouthful, but it's all words and necessary things I need to say to introduce you and as the honorary recipient of the Zero Negative Mindset Award. And I want to just share you with my community and share what you're doing and how you are doing what you're doing and why, and what your story is and how our stories have intersected. And so let's just start from the beginning.
I love it.
Everyone knows you're Nicole Blaine, and that's basically it.
That's it. Great. That's
Yeah,
that's enough.
yeah.
That's
And
good.
that you're super famous. So
Uh-huh. I'm drinking a coffee and I have to pee, which just feels kind of my brand. Like I keep drinking while it's hurting me. I think that's appropriate. Uh-huh. Oh,
well,
hi, Cam. There's Cam.
can
I
you
love
last
Cam.
for like 40 minutes? Will you keep drinking and just see how full you can get?
Yeah, no, I'll
Okay.
commit to it. Here's the problem. I'm going to be honest with you. The Crow has bathroom problems. That's my biggest issue. Is our location is given a bathroom that is very far away. So you have to get your steps in order to get to the bathroom. So what I like to tell my managers of the building is that I just feel like you're just giving me one after the other UTIs. That's what I just finished antibiotics yesterday. So ask me if this is working for me. It's not, but this is what I'm doing. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, let's raise some more money so we can get a better bathroom
Yeah, right?
at the
It's just the
Crow.
little
Yeah.
things. That's all
Yeah.
it is. I just want a bathroom.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
Because you have the chairs, you have the stage, you have
Right.
the
Right.
whole setup, you have the
Yeah.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't pee. I can't pee
Okay.
freely.
Okay. Okay. But
Mhm.
don't turn off people from coming to the Crow because there still are bathrooms that
There are
people can go to.
bathrooms.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just that I have to pee a lot, and then you just have to go around the corner. It's fine. It's fine. I just don't want to go outside.
Okay. Let's
You're right.
get
I don't want to
going
scare
then.
people. We totally have bathrooms. We
Yeah.
absolutely have
Yeah. You have
bathrooms.
bathrooms. Yes. Good ones. Good ones. Clean, nice,
There.
very
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm not going to scare anyone else away.
Okay. Okay. So, hi.
Hi.
Where do you want to start? Because your story has so many different layers and curves. And I guess,
Where
yeah.
where can it help with what you're doing? Let my story be helpful in your world. So let it be there.
Okay. Well, I want to know just how you became, first of all, you were an actor comedian, and then you kind of moved to the storyectomy world and the healing through comedy. So,
Mm.
how did you find that? I mean, that's brilliant and amazing. And I guess, first of all, like, tell everybody, like, is laughter medicine? Is it healing? Like, what is the whole science behind it? Or
I
how
mean,
is that even possible?
there are doctors. There are doctors who will vouch for this as a real medical thing because of what is released when we laugh, right? And it's the same thing
Mhm.
like, endorphins when you run or breastfeeding when you nurse in the oxytocin, like whatever. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I hear it's real. But for me, it was coming from a childhood that was unstable and kind of scary. My safety net was watching comedy shows. So whether it was in high school, legitimately, like all my theater friends, we would all watch SNL together. Or when my mother was really severely sick in my college years, it was watching Friends. You know what I mean? And just like
Mhm.
laughing for that half hour. So I've always been, and it's we. And here's what I'll say: I do think that comedy can do two things. There's the escapism, right, where you're like, I need, my brain needs to have some respite, legitimately, like I need a distraction and I need just like dumb jokes, and I'm so sad, or this is so stressful, or the world is a literal dumpster fire, like where do we go to cope, and your
Mhm.
brain needs to be able to not think of all the horrible things. So I
Mhm.
think comedy is great as an escape. For me, I don't know. I love even more so the comedy that is talking about that actual stuff too. So
Mhm.
it's like I'm doubling down instead of, like, I also like it as an avoidance,
Mhm.
genuinely. But
Mhm.
I think my favorite part is addressing it head on and talking about the most awful things and using it to survive it.
Mhm.
So when my mom was really sick in my college years, and I use that word because like I try to give her grace a bit,
Mhm.
but just for whatever, it's my parents were crack addicts, so like it's not sick like cancer sick,
Like
like it's a
cancer,
very
right?
it's a very
Mhm.
different type of sick, right? And when I was in college and in high school, I wasn't able to see that as a sickness. I was angry and mad that they were
Mhm.
choosing to not be parents and not show up for me and my little brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel very differently about it now. And I think I feel differently about all of that trauma because I wrote a one woman show about it. So you're like, oh,
Mhm.
what was the change of it all? You know what I mean? Like I did this one woman show in my 20s about my
Mhm.
parents being crack addicts. So I was immediately using comedy for my rehab. And then I
Mhm.
performed that comedy literally at rehabs. And that was, I think, for me, when someone goes, well, how did you come up with storyectomy 20 years later? I'm like, well, I was doing it accidentally
Mhm.
for myself, and
Yeah.
then I did it at these sober living houses and in these rehabs. I did this one woman show about my parents, and then that was giving it away. And so then that became of service. And then being of service ends up healing yourself. And it becomes
Mhm.
this whole beautiful thing. And then when I opened up my own venue, I went, well, I want that for more, for the world,
Mhm.
for others. So let's create something where storyectomy, you get your story out. I just come up with the what a silly name, but like I love it.
Yeah, it works.
And it works, and it's
Yeah.
super healing, and you got to be in one of my cancer storyectomy
Mhm.
classes, and so it's amazing because then it's hard to explain how great this program is, right?
Yeah.
So to
Yeah.
be able to have someone say, no, here's what it did, and then we stood on a stage and gave it away, And then
Mm-hmm.
there's someone in that, and every time there's always people in that audience who are crying, feeling I couldn't have said that myself, and I don't feel alone anymore. Like there's a healing property.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, I mean, what's also awesome about it is like there's a little community that we're all going through it together and supporting each other and learning the same kind of techniques. And it says so much about the healing component of community. And it's never too late to make new friends. And I mean, just, I have a whole new set of friends now because of that class.
I'm so
It
glad.
was,
Well, and you know
yeah.
what's interesting about that? It's never too late to make new friends because there's a part
Mhm.
of me that really grieved when all of my close friends for the last 15 years, I'll be honest, like people like my best friends, like that I met, not my high school, college best friends. I don't mean like
Mhm.
long-term best friends. I mean the ones that you contemporarily make. So like
Mhm.
for me, I'm a parent, right? So now I'm
Mhm.
like, great, I see you every single day at preschool. Now we're going on camping trips and we're at every single birthday party. And like all of these friends that I made through like mommy groups, which felt very in my community because we were relating to each other. I
Yeah.
opened a business and here's the deal. They're not into this business. This is not their community. Their community with me was parenting.
Mhm.
So they didn't come to my club and all this stuff. And I felt really hurt. Like, wait, why aren't my who I thought my community was coming here?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, then you realize this is different community. And I need this
Mhm.
community separate from that, and that it's okay that they're not joining me, but I need, maybe you need a cancer community, maybe you need a comedy community, maybe you need the community that's going to be your new business community, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, like, and now these are my friends and this
Yeah.
is where I'm at in my life. And so I do agree that it's never too late to make new friends because sometimes it's you need them for what you need them for.
I mean, I'm almost like from what you're saying, I could even see, and it's not like so much healing. You need so much healing when you're becoming a new parent, or like let's say a new parent within 5 years. But there's a whole storyectomy of new parents,
Yeah.
and that's a huge transition for a woman to like go from just a regular, woman married,
Oh,
newlywed, and then
we've
all of a
already
sudden
done it,
mom.
Jen.
You
Jen,
have
we already
already
did.
done. Okay,
We've done two, and I have
okay,
my third one is opening up in submissions. It's called maternal mental health. We do one called baby
okay,
bumps, and that's
okay,
exactly what it is.
yeah,
Um, because that was one of my, and listen,
that would be funny. Yeah.
listen, and it's so funny that you said that. You should do that. Like that's one of the ones I started with
Okay.
because for me, becoming a parent was catastrophic
Mm-hmm.
and life altering. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you lose yourself and you lose your identity. And it's funny because you want it so badly for so long. I know you can
Yeah.
relate to this. Like you think
Yeah.
you want this, and then it's never what you think, whether
Mm-hmm.
you do it or you don't. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
life is never what we think it's going to be.
Yeah. Never, ever, ever, ever.
No, no.
No, but that's another storyectomy. For those whose life is what they think it's going to be, like maybe it'll be a very small class.
If your life
But
is perfect, sign up and brag about it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We want to hear. We want to hear. That would be so healing that it actually is a perfect life.
I know.
Um, okay, so how did your parents react when you started sharing the story? Were they
Hmm.
also still in it when you started sharing, or were they in their healing process when you started sharing?
That's a great idea. So they were 6 years sober when I started doing the show, 5 or 6. What's interesting about that is we we were not healed as a family.
Mm-hmm.
And here it was, I had felt like I was like during the crack years begging them, pick me. All as soon as you sober up, we're gonna be together. It's gonna be so great. And it was like, I really did think that. And then if the moment that my mom really did sober up, I didn't know how angry I was.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started doing the show, we were in sort of like a really rough, fragile space. I had not reconnected with a trust yet that she was going to be okay. And I was so angry. So, but I also wasn't going to ruin the potential relationship that I wanted to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, can I read you like throughout my drafts of this? When I got to like the final-ish draft, I was like, can you come over once a week and I'll read you like 10 pages at a time. and she kind of like microdosed the pain
Mm-hmm.
of it, and we sort of talked about each chapter, you know what I mean? And I was like, she's like, I don't remember it that way. And I was like, I know you were high, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And acknowledging this is not your story, this is my story,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
they're different stories.
Yeah.
Mine's just better. That's just
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
And then I invited her to watch it in its entirety when I was performing it at a sober living house in a really like, so it wasn't in a theater, like she was, I don't know, she kind of hid amongst 200 people, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And that was where I felt it was the most beautifully received. And at the very end of that night, um, I finished the show, and the audience, I'll always say, like, I'll open it up to any Q&A, because everyone always asks, like, how's your mom? Like, how are you and your mom? What happened to your stepdad? Where is he? Oh, he's creepy. What happened? And I was able to look at my mom after and just turned to her, and she's like, you can acknowledge I'm here. And I was like, well, my mom is here and she's healthy. And like the whole room,
Yeah.
like a flash mob stood up, and they rallied around her and they hugged her. So the healing, I would say my healing process with my mom began at that moment.
Yeah.
And then performing the show 200 thousands, like I don't know how long, I performed it for 2 years. It was a
Yeah.
long run. um I think saying it over and over again and having her come multiple times and having other people in my family come and them not being able to respond was very healing for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your question? I don't remember.
No, that was totally my question. But I also love how, like, because your healing journey was about you, but you kind of were able to heal your whole family through you being brave enough to share it and uh, have them say, yes, it's okay. You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of beautiful how it all happens because who knows where you guys would have been if you didn't have that ability just to really share and heal for yourself.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really do feel like this saved, like my
Yeah.
mom is like my biggest fan. Like my
Yeah.
mom is my person here. You know what I mean? And I will say this. I flash forward, which is one of the reasons I do the storyectomy baby bumps one, is
Hmm.
because I do realize my generational trauma with becoming a mother and how I wanted to then play that out with my child,
Hmm.
specifically both kids, but definitely like my firstborn as a daughter, and
Hmm.
going, well, so I didn't feel safe or chosen, put first, insecure. So like my main thing is like now as a mom, like how do I do that for my kid?
Hmm.
And really realizing, to be completely honest, was
Hmm.
I then was fucking up being a parent. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
when you the more you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then having to realize, oh, I need to fix this.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
this is on me, by the way. This isn't on
Yeah.
my kid. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I need to
Yeah.
rehab my relationship with my daughter because
Yeah.
this is a whole thing going on.
Hmm. Well, you're stopping the cycle and you're creating brand new things for your daughter. Is she funny? Like, do you think she'll be kind of
I mean,
fun?
I will say this is the problem.
Yeah.
We've all coined her and she has taken it. She is funniest in the family.
Okay.
She really is, which is
Hmm.
unfortunate because the three rest of us, my husband and my son and I, are all like trying to be like funny, but
Hmm.
she wants to be a doctor, so she doesn't give.
Oh.
She doesn't get, and of course she's the most brilliant of all of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wins.
Can your mom come out to the comedy store on Sunday?
Oh, I'll ask her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
invite her.
I will.
I mean, I met her that one night at the Crow, but I'd like to see her again.
If she's back in town, I know she was on a trip this week with her friend, but she should be back by Sunday. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
absolutely.
So
Oh,
I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit.
my
Is
dad's
Amia,
here. This is scary. Look at my dad said, I agree. What is he saying? Oh, my
is it
dad says,
American Bobby? Is that your
yeah,
dad?
it's a really weird handle. I don't
Ah,
know why he's chosen to be American Bobby. Dad, it's
but
weird that you do that.
hi, Dad.
It's really weird.
I was just about to ask your daughter, because I'm sure people who are watching are like, what can be funny about like what would be a funny situation that you pulled out of growing up with your parents on drugs? And what would be, yeah, a funny story that would be in that show?
Oh, well, my dad, I could tell one about it. Tegan is very smart. That's my daughter. He's like, Tegan is very smart. Um, Let's see. Well, my dad loves my dad, I'm trying to think. What try to I had funny situations in there. My dad, we did some flashbacks. My dad, I remember. It's not that funny. It was funny to us. You want me to actually think of what was funny in that show?
Yes.
First of all, it was 20 years ago.
Okay.
So now I don't think anything is funny. Because you look back at your work and you're like, why did I think that was a good idea?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I did.
I mean, there must have been so many things that like were like, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the
Yeah.
truth is that like my mother had at that when you have a crack house, a lot of people move in. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like
Hmm.
I want to be honest, I'm like just the cast of characters that I was living with. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like one of them was a Crip. Okay. So we
Okay.
had a full-blown Crip gangster in our house, along with a woman who was 100% blind and had a seeing eye dog that was a German Shepherd. And I don't know if you know this, but animals can get high off of the smoke exhaled.
Oh, yeah,
So
I do know that. My dog used to accidentally get stoned from my husband smoking.
there you go. This German Shepherd was
Yeah.
high as a kite and kept running this poor blind woman into every wall and every piece of furniture.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that,
That's
I mean,
funny. Okay.
there you
I
like
get
I'm
it.
like, I
Yeah.
don't know, the setting was what it was. Like
Yeah.
that was what
Yeah.
I was living in.
Yeah.
And like mind you, there was a Crip standing next to her, being like, what the doing? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like what is
Hmm.
happening? And then continuing to blow more smoke into the dog's face. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And this was normal for you. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
just a Tuesday, you know?
Just a regular Tuesday. Okay, I have a bunch of questions. I want to ask you, I want to know what's next for Storyectomy. Are you working on another cancer one or like what, yeah, issue are you tackling these days?
Oh, I'm so excited. That's really great. So I have dream topics, but I'll tell you what we've done so far, and I'll tell you the one that's going to be new next year that I got a grant for. I'm excited.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
we've done 7 cancers. We've done 2 prides for June, and those are family friendly versions. We've done 2 maternal mental healths. We've done 2 unhoused. We're in the second one now. And next year, I'm so excited. We got a grant for veterans.
Oh, amazing. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's going to be really great.
yeah.
Really
And
great.
I really want to do a justice one, like incarceration,
Hmm.
um, and all the people who, like, especially like females or juveniles, and the recidivism rates, and all the, going to prison and
Yeah.
all that. And then, of course, like I really love to do like grief in general and
Hmm.
people who have,
Hmm.
you know, tragically
Just
lost
tragically lost kids or, yeah,
suicide.
spouses. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
there's a whole suicide
Yeah.
situation that would be
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
hard to tackle. And I think suicide's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you find people that would want to come to the class and do it?
That's, what's harder is finding people to fund it, FYI.
Yeah. Okay.
So that, I'm a full-blown nonprofit, and so we have to apply to a lot of grants
Hmm.
and I will say this, not that anyone asked, but I spend money on trying to get grant money. Like one of my
Hmm.
highest costs is a team to apply to all of these things. You know
The
what I mean?
writing the writing the grant ask. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then if we do get the money, then I have to, like you said, us, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that was me as a marketing rep, while I had my day job for 21 years before
Hmm.
I opened the Crow.
Hmm.
I was a marketing person. So it was like, well, listen, everything is truly personal outreach, right? And so that was from a marketing perspective, putting things on a website, putting things on a social, calling people. And so, like, when I first started, my first one with cancer, it was I worked in the medical field. So I'm going to
Hmm.
call up my old physicians that I used to market to and be like, I think a physician's perspective is necessary. So, it's always calling people and
Yeah.
getting getting people to buy in and then putting it on your website and begging
Yeah.
people. And then eventually, like you, they go, oh, this was amazing. I'll recommend a friend. And that
Yeah. Yeah.
organic growth and
Yeah.
reach, but you have to
Mhm.
do everything. You have to get organized. You have to put it on a website. You have to do your social media. And then it's
Mhm.
like, I need to write a press release and I need to send it out to 200 news outlets and hope that one bites. And then if they do, you've got the pictures and the proof. So like,
A
partly I
lot.
feel like with launching anything, it's starting from scratch and doing it with nothing and for nothing, and then and hiring a photographer to show up and take pictures so that the next time you do it you've got photos, and the next time you do it you filmed it, and the next time you do it, you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
so it's still very grassroots, and it's
Hmm.
still I ask a lot of people to share it with people who that they think would be good, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I have some great people from cancer, from losing children, from like that type of loss. I don't know any veterans at the moment, but yeah, other traumas, easy, unfortunately. No, but I've recommended this class to so many people already. But you don't have a cancer one coming up recently or new, do you? A new
Well,
one?
we'll have one next year. Yeah, we
Okay,
usually
okay.
do cancer in the summer.
And is it always American Cancer Society that gives the grant? No, it's different. Okay.
No, so the American Cancer Society doesn't give any funding. We got funding from RadNet, which
Oh,
is,
yeah, that's right. Okay.
yeah, and they paid, and then I fundraised for the American Cancer Society.
Ah, okay, okay.
But then I got Blood Cancer United to do a blood cancer cohort. And that
Mm-hmm.
they did fund that for their marketing and their outreach. They got it. They really,
Okay.
really, really got it. So it's funny that you say that. In 2 days, I'm pitching to RadNet to do a bigger one so that it can
Mm-hmm.
have all the support that it needs,
Mm-hmm.
filming wise and crew and all that sort of stuff and stories, because this is really one of those things that, especially with the cancer funding being cut right
Mm-hmm.
now, we
Yeah.
need to find ways that are going to make people want to give, because we have to take care of this now. Like,
Yeah.
and we know that the research and the science and all of that funding saves lives, period. This is how this
Period.
goes.
It is the reason I'm alive, and the
It's the
reason
reason you're
why I will always be giving back to cancer research and also empowering patients because I believe it is a team effort
right.
saving a life of a cancer patient. So,
And to
yeah.
care, and I'm sad to say this, but like statistics and throwing a board of like 300,000 people died in the it's not hitting us because we're already grossly bombarded by the world's dumpster fire of tragedy. So
Yeah.
I do think that when you get someone in a room, or when you lock in and you hear someone's story in this way, the way that you delivered your story on stage when you did Storyectomy,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to make me donate to research immediately. That's different. The other thing that it's going to do, and this is what I am very passionate about, is going, hey, we need to use these stories for cancer preventative imaging. To be completely honest, the last storyectomy I did, I added an impact question of, how much would you go out now and get a mammogram? Would you go out and get a colonoscopy? Would you go out and get a lung screening? Because you could pay $250 to get your entire lung screened to find out if you have cancer in your lungs or in your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Would you pay for that? And 90% of the people walking out of that room were like, I'm going to make my appointment. And then I email them 5 days later and go, did you make it?
Mm-hmm.
That's to me, that's activating a
Yeah. Yeah.
whole movement. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I think Storyectomy can fundraise in a different way. I think
Mm-hmm.
that it can get people to get a colonoscopy, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
different way of messaging than
Yeah.
throwing up all these statistics. I think
Yeah.
it's humanizing,
Yeah.
and building community in the way you're talking about.
No, I totally agree. It's like reminding people that you also have a body that you need to protect, and maybe it's time to get that little test or that nudge. And if insurance doesn't cover it, then RadNet can help. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
you then you need, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
mammograms are covered.
yeah,
Period.
yeah. At a certain age, yeah, yeah. But let me just tell you, and
Yes.
I share this all the time. I had mammograms for about 8 years before my diagnosis of stage 4. 6 months before I had the diagnosis, I had the mammogram that didn't detect. And so I was also supposed to have ultrasounds, which I wasn't told. So
What?
now I tell everybody with their mammogram they need to have an ultrasound, especially if they have dense breast tissue. But nobody ever told me that. And so I just never even had it in my radar that it was something I needed to do. Anyway, I love my story, so it all worked out because
Wow.
I don't think I would have been inspired to heal or even do anything with stage two. I would probably just be annoyed and just be like more of a victim. But stage four, it was like, oh my God, I'm dying. I don't want to die. I got to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on. So it all worked out, but it's also my way of sharing. Everyone needs to get a mammogram and ultrasound.
And they're not covering that unless you have desperate, or you have to, like, your physician has to write that with ultrasound, and
Yeah,
you
I
have to have a
think
certain criteria in order
I
to get
think
that covered.
I think most of it these days, anyone can ask for it if it's for sure dense breast or if they have any kind of breast cancer or cancer in their family history. I don't think it's a hard ask anymore. It probably was a little harder 8 years ago,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Good. And that's the thing, is that, and that's what the cancer screening is also changing right now. And doctors aren't prescribing it. And it's
Hmm.
something that we need to start informing the public of, is that you
Hmm.
can get a screening CT scan if you're over 50 years old, period.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Lung screening. Like, that is
Everyone.
something, yeah,
Yeah.
for $250. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And insurance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same. And mammograms, like you said, with a prescription, they're
Hmm.
covered. And after a certain age, they're covered. You know what I mean? But like, you could
Hmm.
also just do it anyway and pay the 250. And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, I would pay, like, no matter what. Like, you know that you spend that somewhere. It's important to
Hmm.
you somewhere, whether it's a
Yeah.
kid's swimming lesson class
Yeah.
or, you know what I mean, something.
Yeah. Yeah. 250 just for peace of mind. I would pay that too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Renee's going to come to the show on Sunday.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we have our whole like little class coming, so it'll be fun. Except I don't know about Laura. I haven't heard from Laura.
I'll bug her. I'll see her on Thursday, so I'll give her a
Okay.
little bug. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
tell her to bring her husband.
I will. Brian's the
Okay.
best.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
My company sends love through their our love totes, and I always ask the last question about like a message you would want to put in the love tote that's going out to the world. What would your message be in our love tote?
Hmm. I feel like that's a really good question. Who's getting the love tote?
Well, I always just say the conscious consumer because they are purchasing love intentionally so they can be reminded every time they carry it on their shoulder. So it is a message that they would be excited to hear, just like a message they can keep forever.
Um,
Like, for example, my message is always life is always working out for you. Like when you believe, life is never against you. Life is always supporting you and on your side through every challenge, through every amazing thing. So,
okay. There's something for me. I don't know if I can get it into words, but there's a part of me that just feels like the most. I'm starting to realize, like, just being alive is the gift, right? Like, this, like, super staying present.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's beautiful. Life is a gift. No matter what is going on, life is still a gift. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
this moment, like, I'm like,
this moment. Yeah.
this moment, in this moment, you win.
Presence is a superpower for sure.
Mm,
And
yeah,
it's one of the hardest things to do,
I'm
to
working
stay
real hard
present.
on it. I'm
Yeah.
working real
It's,
hard on it.
it's a practice. And,
Hmm.
I kind of teach it. I call it, the pinch me method. We pinch
Mm.
ourselves when we want to get back into the present moment and remind ourselves that the present is all we have.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna start pinching myself for
That
good.
is, yeah. I mean, it started with cancer when I felt like I was pinching myself because I wanted to wake up from a horrible nightmare, especially when I was in that office with learning I had stage four cancer and Larry running over my mom's foot. And I'm like, this has got to be a dream. Wake me up out of this. And then I felt pinched by the universe when I learned that the pregnancy that I wanted so desperately would had killed me, and then seeing life was always working out, I felt like it was like a pinch from God, almost a pinch that everything's always working out. Just trust.
Can I tell you
So
something? I don't know if you need to go at this very moment, but I want to tell you.
I
Um,
don't need to go.
okay, I talk about your story a lot. I've used your story when someone says, "Tell me something amazing from Storyectomy." I use yours. I think you have one of the most. I think what's special about your story is that you don't get what you think you want. And like you said, it ends up being how it saves you. You might. I don't know if everyone would have seen and received your
Hmm.
experience in the positive way that you have experienced it.
Yeah.
So I use it more as like a wow, like if you can see this story strung out from the beginning of your gymnastics career and how your body like the way that we really, and I don't know how much of that story you came in, I think you knew your story, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
but for
Yeah.
me to just witness it and to truncate it into this 7 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it was, but the power of you being a little girl through being a professional, like going to the Olympics trained gymnast, and the what you had to do with your body and how your body betrayed you but saved you in that moment, and then later how your body betrayed you but saved you.
Yeah.
Your story and the way that you have, it's interesting because it's such an Olympian's mentality with this deep dose of being pinched and realizing what the good is in life. I don't know how you have such, it's so human, and it's so human of the triumph of the human spirit. You have
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
I think that without oversharing your story, I'm sure your community knows it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
um
tell it all the time.
okay, okay, because I'm
But yeah,
like,
keep
I don't
sharing
want
it.
to share you, but
Yeah.
it's so powerful. I especially think so many women identify becoming a mother as their future identity and fitting in with the world and who we are.
Hmm.
And for you to be so open about how not being able to have a baby saved your life, but then you not, I don't know, you turned a corner into something so big and so powerful. And when I feel like I've asked you, like, well, so now what is that? How do you what is your motherhood story? And you're like, well, so now I'm going to mother
The
this,
world.
the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
literally, and I'm going to serve as a mother, and I can, through this
Hmm.
journey, and talking about how your body can save you, and there's more to life than birthing a human. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know. I respect you in a really huge. I see you as a mother. Like, that is the most mother thing ever. Is that is a mother, but that's the definition of a mother.
I
Is
appreciate you saying that. I so do. And, I respect you as well. And it really, it just, I think it also just puts so much in perspective for me, because before I was diagnosed, all I could see was what I didn't have. And I
yeah,
didn't have the child. I didn't
right.
have what I thought I needed to have to be happy. And then not even thinking of death is a possibility, but then, oh my God, I might not have life. I can't believe I worried about what I didn't have and not just seeing what I had, which life is beautiful no matter what. And that shift can't ever go away. And I was like, I can't believe I just worried about having a freaking baby when like my entire life was so beautiful and full. And so, like I said, I think if I had stage two, I probably wouldn't have been hit so hard with that knowing.
Right. Right.
And and I think because I was looking so deeply, there's got to be a reason for this, because I don't think life would treat me like for just wham, 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 get done. Like, please, please let me be wrong. I was searching so hard to find something. And then it was that moment that changed everything. And so sometimes I believe we're all capable of finding that gift in the worst situations ever if we're truly like kind of open to it.
If you're open to it,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And you have to, and I think that's stay curious, right? And
Yeah, curiosity, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it felt so much better to just like have this faith and trust that life was working out. And let's say I'm just crazy and life still isn't working out, I'm going to die. At least I'm going to be happy for the rest of the time that I'm here. You
yeah.
know, and I had made that choice too. I did not want to suffer anymore. And the suffering came from my own stories in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, how powerful are we just because of our thinking and how we just write our stories? Storyectomy is such a beautiful way of rephrasing so much trauma.
Yeah.
And like we say, when one person heals, so too does the bigger part of the community, the world, whatever. We're all just on this healing journey together,
Yeah.
doing our part.
I will say this in conclusion. Um, I feel really, really privileged to be in the room during those classes. Like, I can't believe I get to sit witness to people who are willing to talk about some really hard stuff in front of each other. And then what's beautiful is watching, like, and I saw it in our class, you know what I mean? Like, the connectivity of someone shares something super vulnerable, and someone else in the class is like, me too. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And if we
yeah,
didn't all take those risks to
yeah.
say it, so like you're saying, like, community heals, right? And
Hmm.
there's all that. um but I feel really, I'm surprised I'm able to do the work I'm doing. Like, I know I invented it, which is also what I want to say is, like, I think we can invent our life.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
You're
think we can.
showing up to the present moment and what you sort of want to do, what's coming from your heart, your soul, what helped you. And if it helped you, it can definitely help others.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I will say the group I'm currently in right now, we've done 2 classes with the unhoused group.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, I would never have had the privilege to sit in a room with people who are formerly unhoused and some currently unhoused and social workers talking directly about what's happening uh, to their bodies on the streets at night.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been in that company, just like I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been forced into your company in the cancer world. Like,
Hmm.
I feel lucky, and I mean that, to
Hmm.
bear witness to real raw stories. This is changing my life, right? Like, I don't see people the same.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a part of me that just wishes like everyone could see people's truths like this.
I mean, what are you learning, especially from the unhoused issue?
Mhm.
What, like, what are you learning?
So I'm learning that there is sexual assault every night on the streets,
Hmm.
that for women who are unhoused, and for trans people. This is really serious, right? And that the social workers in the group, it's interesting to hear their perspectives because they're clearly on the front lines of dealing between like the government and what support we do have and like the reality of what people need. And legitimately, like, the system is broken, right? Like, we're not doing it right. So
Yeah.
what is happening right now isn't working. Everyone is out there like screaming about it, like, oh, there's too many unhoused and people on the streets, and look at our terrible streets. And it's like, so they're solving, you know what I mean? But no one's, that's why I think when you have a situation where you get to hear the story from the people themselves,
Hmm.
the lived experience, that's where we change the game of what to do next, right? Like, people with lived experience know what's broken. So from the out, so that's what I, and just like, a cancer patient, just like you just
Hmm.
said, but
Hmm.
I learned now you have to ask for an ultrasound.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm
Hmm.
talking about.
Hmm.
So, in every single one of these classes, in community and in discovery of real life stories, versus some politician or some angry Karen mad about their park, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so what I'm learning is that we need to be talking to people with lived experience because they're very smart. They're just
Yeah.
like the rest of us. And what we
Hmm.
need to realize is these are really smart humans. We need to stop putting on the societal shame because they
Yeah.
have solutions to bring to the table. We're just not even letting them speak.
Hmm. It
So
must be so frustrating to like hear all these stories and not being able to like just give them a house to live in too, you know?
I know, I know. Right. And that's part of my problem is I go, well, where, what am I doing? And I'm like, well, my piece in this puzzle is this artwork, is this
Yeah.
forum, right? I,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can, I can serve it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And two of the last unhoused people from season one
Hmm.
have taken their actual stories and they go up and use those for DC and Sacramento and policy advocacy.
Okay.
So I'm like, what am I doing? Well, I
That's a
hope,
lot. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You are doing a lot. And we appreciate you. And I can't wait to honor you on Sunday.
Thank you.
And I do have a gift, so I want to know just what's your favorite color? Because I'm going to give you a love tone, and I want
Oh,
you to pick
I'm
your
I'm
color.
all pink. I'm all
Oh,
pink.
good. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
was like thinking she's either pink or she's black, like because part of me
Those
is
are the
like she's a New
two.
Yorker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
pink and black. That's me.
Okay. Good. That's me too.
Okay, great.
Okay, well, this has been awesome. I am
Thank you.
going to share this on my YouTube channel and I'll share it with you when it's ready.
Please, thank
And
you.
I will see you on Sunday.
I love it. I'm honored. Thank you, Jen.
And I look forward to it.
Me too. Have a great
Okay.
rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.